Hi, my name is Michael Bronstein, and this is my final video for global citizenship. And so, with my writing in this final project, I focused a lot on my experiences as an intern working for a startup company. And so, with this video, I want to focus on globalization and kind of what I wish I could have learned in my time in America, but how this class kind of helped me um, to kind of understand what it means to be a global citizen, even though I kind of stayed home this summer instead of going abroad and really seeing what it meant to be a global citizen. So I stayed in America because I wanted, and specifically in Berkeley and San Francisco, because I had wanted to gain an understanding of what it was like to work for a startup company and what it was like to work in the Bay Area. In case for myself, when I would be leaving, whether or not I would really want to work here. And so, what I have learned overall, what it means to have globalization, what it means to be a global citizen, is very simple. To be a global citizen really means to have an understanding of other people's cultures, how your culture differs from other people's, how you can make those bridges with others, what steps you must take, and ultimately how we as a society in this whole world that we live in with so many different cultures, different languages, different societies, all living under one blue marble floating in the universe, how do we find ways to connect ourselves better? And so, with what I've learned from this class, with what I've learned from Berkeley overall, um, the first step in understanding a way for us to, as global citizens, to find a medium is to let loose of our understanding of our culture and our fears within our cultures and accepting others. For example, in Berkeley, right, we are very stringent and very focused on making sure that everyone is politically correct. And we're trying to make sure that no one gets offended by the words that we say and that everyone is at peace and feels fully respected. This is something, in my opinion, from what I've learned in this class and overall, is specific to Berkeley, or just in general to America, and maybe even to California as a whole, that we focus a lot on our words. And in other countries, the words themselves are not really what is something that they use to show affection, show respect to others. It's a lot more through physical action. And in Berkeley, with what I've seen, we in general tend to view ourselves based on our words rather than the actions that we use and the actions that we say. And so I think our first step to fix the global barriers that have been built overall and within being a global citizen is to understanding other cultures and to let loose of the cultures that have defined our lives in America for so long. Another step is for us to, within economics, ultimately, is to allow for limits of how much influence other countries can have within our world. As we had seen from the modules that we have discussed, especially with Mexico, with the exploitation of people in Manila, um, in Southeast Asia and whatnot, it's very easy for people of other countries to take advantage of civilians um, and in other countries and use them for labor without paying them, especially in poorer countries. And this is kind of something that would need for a greater global United Nations type of enforcement to ensure that these kinds of things don't happen as often. To ensure that everyone in every nation gets the respect that they deserve, and that's one of the drawbacks as well. Another drawback of globalization is pretty much um, again the influence, but the influence in a negative way. And there's no possible way, in my opinion, to stop the influence of negative aspects of other countries. For example, what I'm saying ultimately is how first world countries will, attack or put themselves into third world countries, which will have an overall greater effect on these smaller countries as a whole. And there's no way for us to really change that. It would require a large amount of international concentration, international change for us to make this difference. Um, which I don't know if that can ever happen. And I don't want to go too far into politics and economics here. But what I really want to focus on is that being a global citizen means that we have to understand what our strengths are as a country and what our strengths are internationally and how we can better ourselves as a whole. Thanks for listening. Unfortunately, I have to get to dinner now, and I hope you've enjoyed my videos, and I hope you enjoyed this whole thing. Thanks so much. Goodbye.